Hello, let's create a chess game. In the first video, I tried to create the board, the chessboard, and this is a really nice example because I use a lot of things. We need UV maps, textures, text, and so on. Okay, let's start. Yeah, I delete this. Let's start from the beginning. Solo view. We start with a box. And before we start, here's a setting in the debug menu of the settings here. Here's a UV. Keep primitive UVs, turn it on, and add BFF UVs. Okay. Then we need a primitive, a box. Reset the view. We are in the front view. And now this box has already a UV map. When you press here UV, you see the map is applied. And this is the first tile of the chessboard. And in the topology here, we can adjust the divisions here with a slider, and we use only a division of 0. And now we can validate this object. Okay. The next thing is we want to apply here a texture. You can search in the internet for wood textures, or I use for this tutorial now a marble texture, a dark one and a bright one, and download this picture, only the picture, JPEG or PNG, and save it to the photos. And to apply this texture we need a higher poly count, a much higher poly count. I turn on the wireframe now, you can see it, and we need a linear subdivision. Here, this checkbox. And subdivide now the mesh, you see here, up to 1.5 million is okay. So the next thing is we adjust a brush. We use a paintbrush, and you can clone this brush. Clone it and say paint picture or texture, paint texture. Okay, then the new tool appears here at the bottom, and now adjust here the paint. We can here choose a texture. I import one. I use this dark marble texture. And leave the color here white. White is applying color. Also when you need the same color as the texture picture, you need white here as the color. And for the alpha, use this blank one. The scaling, you can adjust and try what's the best for your texture. And the fall off here, a flat one. And the stroke type, grab dynamic radius. And now test it here. Okay, it works fine. And your tool here, save your settings. Save. You need it very often when you use textures to apply here a picture, create your own tool. On the left side there's a symmetry function, turn it off. We don't need symmetry at the moment. And the wireframe off, and here now we can apply now the dark marble texture. It's fine. In the decimation submenu, there's a function here, bake vertex painting, this one here. And here you can change the picture resolution. I think 1000 is okay. And you can now bake the vertex painting. The vertex painting is now baked. You don't see anything. But here, when you go to the light menu, you can, here when you use textures, you see it's only a texture at the moment. And back to the multi-resolution menu and reduce the whole multi-resolution and delete the higher. And now you got a tile with only 8 vertices and a nice texture. Okay. Here you see a red dot at the box. This is a layer. This is a backup of the vertex painting. We don't need it. You can delete this one. And here's a box we clone. We need a second one, a white tile for the chessboard. And when you now use the gizmo, it's under the black one now. You don't see it. Here at the left side is a snapping function. Here this one. You can use here the setting 1 is okay. And this is the distance from one step to the other when you move it with the gizmo. And here when you move it, step 1, then you get this. Back to the topology menu, decimation and so on. And here when you press now bake vertex painting, the white color of the vertex color is now baked to see the difference. And now the same steps as before. We need a much higher resolution. We subdivide this mesh up to 1.57 million vertices. We use now the paint texture tool and we change the texture. Now let's use this white marble texture. Symmetry is off, and here use this one. Decimation, UV, bake the vertex painting, back to multi-resolution, bring all the levels down and delete the higher. Now we got our 2 tiles with textures. And here in the layers menu, we can delete the layer. Okay, select here. We rename it white. And this one black. Okay. And here are a few possibilities you can use here now. For example, such thing like an array repeater. You can change the offset here to 2 and the count here not too much. I need only 4, I think. Then you get this one, and you can do the same for the other one. Add this array, count here 4, and the offset 2. And this is the result. And keep the parts always separate, the black and the white, because when you join it, then you lose the textures. And okay, and now let's try it to create the other lines here. We can now try with instance. The snap is active, and bring it here in position. Use another instance. Again. You can group it, but I do it now with instance after instance, and I think one time we need it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, again 8. And the same for the black ones. Instance, okay. There are different methods to do this, but yeah, it's not faster, not real. And here we got now our black ones, and we can join it, I think, I hope. Yes. And the white ones, oops, we can also select and join it. Deselect the black one and join it. This the array nodes, I think we can validate, and here press also validate. We can join everything. Now we got our tiles. Okay, we need border lines around the chessboard. For this we add a cylinder, and let's go back. Select both of the objects here and bring it in the center of the world. Move origin. And now let's add the cylinder. In the topology, we only need a division of 4. Then it's a cube. And we can add a hole in the cylinder. And we can use the snap rotation here. And we use 45 degrees. And now we can, I scale it here a little bit. Now we can rotate this object And at the left side, there is a world function. Press world. Now the gizmo is correct, orientated. And now when you use the scale, you can here adjust the the positions of the radii, and we only have to adjust the height of this whole thing. We make it real small, like this. And it's also possible to do this the scaling here in the matrix. You can use here the slider function in the to adjust it here very precisely to get a result like this. And we can give it a color. Yeah, use black. We need a new border, and we use the same now, and we clone this one, and we adjust here I'm zooming a little bit here. Like this. And I change the color to pure white. And again, we clone this one and bring it here in position. Now we got our borders. I turn off now the outline to see it clearer, if it is okay. I think it's okay. We can validate each one. And don't join it, group it. When you join it, when you press here join, does it work? Yes, in this case it works, but grouping is, I think, is better. This is border. Okay. Then we need our A, B, C, D, our letters and our numbers. For this we use an online tool. You can type in Google here text to STL, and text to STL, the first one, Mestres FR, French. This one is a very nice text to STL tool. Here, press let's start. And here you can change the type of shape. Here we only need the letters, and we need A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. You see it here, and you can change it here to a smaller size, because Nomad is a very small size. You see it here. And text kerning, use also 1. And you can play around with the fonts here. There are a lot of fonts, but yeah, I think, yeah, use custom font. Okay, settings. And press export STL and save it. Here in Nomad, you get here this output STL file in your download folder, and you can drag and drop it here and give it a color. Move origin, and we use the top view. You can scale it here. There's a snapping active at the moment. Turn it off. And place here your letters. You can adjust it in the height. And bring it in a position like this. Okay, and I think we need it twice. Letters. We can use the instance. And bring it here in position. And the next thing is we need numbers. We start with number 8, return number 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And export it. Save it. Back to Nomad. This is the next one. Drag and drop. Top view. We can paint it. This one, the distance between the numbers is not not correct. For this we can use, first we bring it in a position, make it smaller here and bring it here in contact with the surface like this. And now you can press here the 3 small buttons and separate them. And here you get now each number for its own. And here you can use now the gizmo to bring it in position. Select the next one. Now we can select the whole thing and bring it here in a position like this. You can join it again and use a instance to bring it to the other side. Okay, I think our chessboard is done. You can do a lot of more with this, but the basic chessboard is okay. Okay, have fun with sculpting. Ciao.